To be or not to be. Now, that is a very common phrase. You've probably heard that before, and that comes from Hamlet, which is what we're going to be reading. Now, this is a Shakespearean play. It was written by William Shakespeare. This is hundreds of years old. It's one of his most famous pieces of work. Um, Now, you were given a novel of this. You have this book. Now, I want you to open it, like actually go open it and like pause the video, open it, look at random page, and come back. Pause it, open it, look at it, come back. You're gonna see it's written in uh old English. Come on, fucking junk computer. So old English. Now, this isn't a one-to-one of your book, but it's the same thing. It's still Hamlet. For example, here, what art thou usurped this time of night, together with the fair and warlike form in which the majesty of the buried Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven, I charge thee, speak. What does that mean? Right? So this is written in Old English. We have a different interpretation of English now. Language has evolved. So I encourage you to try and read this. And I'm giving you lots of resources, but I really want to be clear here. This is this section is not about you being able to read Old English. This section is about you being to understand the tragedy of Hamlet. Okay? I care that you understand about the story, not that you can read this, which means you might not be using this to understand the story. And in fact, most of my students rarely do. It's very hard, especially if it's an online course. If this was an in person class, I could read through it. I could, explain what everything means. We don't have that option right now. So instead, there's a couple things that I've done here. One of the things I've done is I've given you a modern English version of this. What does it sound like now? So, for example, if I go to, I'm just going to go random page. In the original text of imperious stubbornness, stubbornness, tis manly grief. It shows the most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified. So, if I were to read that, here's what it means: a vulnerable heart and an ignorant and weak mind. Since we know that everyone must die sooner or later, why should we take it to heart? Hey, that's a lot more legible, right? So I really encourage you to do a side by side. If you don't like this as well, there is that's not that I meant to do. There is a side by side translation website here. Look at these resources. Don't just skim past them. Look at them. I've bolded it for you to try and explain what each of these are. So, for example, let's say you're doing like Act One, Scene Three. It gives you a really brief summary of it. Like, hey, this is what it is. Before Laertes sets sail, he and his father Polonius warn Ophelia against starting a relationship with Hamlet. Boom! That's what that's about. And then they show you the original and the translation, the original and the translation, and it's even color coded. Okay, so I really encourage you to use these resources here. Um, Now, so your book is split up into 5 acts, okay? 5 acts. And think of it like a mountain. So Act One, we're laying the foundation. Act Two, we got rising tension. Act Three, we're at the peak of the story. Oh my God. Act Four, we're starting to wind down. And Act Five, we're down there. So it just goes whoop, done. That's even in your workbook. Speaking of which, I've given you a workbook. You need this workbook right here. It's about 34 pages. You're going to be using this a lot. And just like before, right? We have, and come on, you hunk of junk. We have Act One, Act Two, Three, Four, and Five. All Shakespeare's written in 5 acts in this format. Um, so here's the important characters. We've introduced the setting and the established like the basics of the plot. Act Two, everything starts to develop. Act Three, it's the boom. This is the turning point of the play. Act Four is we have some consequences to a situation, and Act Five is the conclusion. Sorry, my computer's not working very well right now. There are, of course, Hamlet character lists. You are expected to do this. I have a video of me doing the first one with you. I am happy to help you out with this if you're not sure. And for Act One, we'll do that together. I have a video of that. After you read it, watch the video. It's where I break this all down. Um, but you're gonna do what's the facts about the character? Just describe them. Characteristics, then personality traits. Like maybe this person's really rash, he's angry, he's quick to anger, he's lying, he's sad, he's in despair, he's suicidal, whatever it is. And then the relationships. For example, this girl is his girlfriend, and this person is his friend, and this person is his old friend, and this person is his enemy, stuff like that. So you're doing that for all of these. Now you can ignore these. These are at the start. That's your like break for each one. Now, I'm always going to have a couple of important quotes in here. Now, quote is in Old English. You're welcome to, of course, use the modern interpretation tools that you have. But you're going to find that quote, who spoke it, what was the context? Maybe the context here is he just murdered somebody, is why he's saying that to me. In the context of this, he's speaking to a ghost. And there's some more stuff there. Like he's speaking to a ghost. He's not sure if this ghost is here to do a bad thing, do a good thing. Why are you here, ghost? That's the context. And then the meaning and significance is like, why is this an important quote? What does it do to the story or to the characters or to the plot? So who said it? What did they say? What's the context? And what did it mean? Okay. Boom, 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 boom. So you can see, for example, here in Hamlet, there's a complete one here. Hamlet said, "Not so, my lord. I am too much I the sun." And what this means is he's saying this in the king's court. He's responding to Claudius, and he's basically saying that it's a play on your words. Don't call me your son. I'm not your son. That's what he's saying. So that's going to be at the start of every act, and then there's just going to be a bunch of questions. So you're going to, for every single act, you're going to read it, and you're going to do some of the questions. So read it, do the speaker stuff, do a plot summary, answer the questions. Boom, 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 boom. You're doing that for every single act, okay? And that I've tried to break that down to you as much as possible on the LMS here. So for example, hey, read it. I don't care which way you read it. You are more than welcome to use the side-by-side. I really encourage it, frankly. I've given you two. You have a PDF or you have a website. The website's better. I also have given you the Old English novel. Watch the videos below. I have said some are required and some are optional. This one is a 4-minute summary. After you read it, watch it. It will summarize it for you. And then after that, I will go through the video for the first act. Watch this from an hour 10 onwards. If you want to read your Old English novel and you want to hear me read it and explain it while it's being read, you can watch all of those videos, which are included in every act. If you prefer to instead listen to a modern English interpretation, I've also included that with timestamps. Oh, hi, Kitty. So you're doing that for Act 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then afterwards, you're always going to have some questions to submit, right? So the speaker quotes, the questions, and a plot summary. What happened in Act 1? What happened in Act 2? Okay? Now you're doing that for all 5 acts, and then there's like a final thing at the end. And the final assignment here is a post-reading one. You have 5 different options. Option 1, and this is all worth 10% of your grade. So this is on equal weight as that essay you did earlier. So you need to put in a lot of effort. Option 1, I want you to watch The Lion King. And no, not the new one, not the live action one. I want you to watch the old Lion King, 1994 animated one. I want you to watch that Lion King. And then I want you to compare how are Hamlet and Lion King similar? Because I'm going to give you a hint. The Lion King is just Hamlet in a kid's story. It's the same thing. It was based on the same thing. Okay? Option 2, there's a dual in directions. This is in your workbook. Near the very bottom, dual in directors. And this is going to apply for 2 of those choices. Here we go. Come on, you hunk of junk. This is the dual in directors. It's a very old movie. It's a very old play. It's been done in lots of movies. There's lots of video formats of this available. You're going to have the option to watch a couple of them. You need to review the rubric that's down below. We'll go to that in a bit. But basically, you're gonna pick one of these scenes. There's a scene in Gertrude's bedroom, or there's a scene with the gravedigger, and two different directors. Okay, you're gonna watch both of them, and you're gonna compare them. Which job you think does a better job of showing it to an audience, for example? These are some examples. You can do more of that. Which one do you think is better, and why? Cinematically, which one do you think is better? If you're a movie geek, this is your one. You're going to be explaining this in writing, like this is a writing project still. Um, so that's that. Now this is an example one. This is an example one I got a couple of years ago. Um, the highlights the feedback. Now, this is the view and rubric. This is how I grade it. This is how you should read this and you should understand this. And like, this is what I'm looking for. This gives you the extra details you might be wondering about. So that's option 2. Option 3 is I want you to watch 2 movie versions. They're about an hour and 20 minutes each. They're not very long. They try and stay very true to it. One of these is a 1990 Hamlet version. I will include that down below. The other one is a 1948 one with Christopher Lee. Again, if you're a movie guy, you're going to be watching a Mel Gibson version, where Mel Gibson's the main actor, or a Christopher Lee, like Saruman, Count Dooku, that guy version, where he's the main actor. So you're watching these 2 different versions, and I want you to compare them. Which one do you like better, and why? Which one did a better job of the story, of the themes, kept it true to the play? Which one do you think is better for a modern audience? Which actor did better, even, and so on and so forth. I just want you to compare them. And again, this is a writing project. This is writing it almost in an essay. Actually, it is an essay, truthfully. Option 4, why do we have to study Shakespeare? I hate Shakespeare. Yeah, everyone hates Shakespeare. Why do we have to, like, I can't even read this. Old English, what does that mean? So should we study it? Yes or no? I want you to research both arguments. Why is Shakespeare still studied? Versus, why is Shakespeare still studied in like grade 9? I was introduced to Shakespeare in grade 9. I was 13. Why did I have to read Old English when I was 13? Why do you have to read this? Why is this fair? Well, you have to read it because I'm being told to by the government. But should that be the case? They are changing the curriculum right now. There's a new English curriculum in 2 years. Should students have to study it? Yes or no, and why? So why should they study it? Why should they not study it? Give me both sides of the view here. What are good reasons and bad reasons? This is more of a research project. You don't have this knowledge. You don't have the specialty to say yes or no. I value your opinion in this case, as you've got to experience it, and you can tie that in there. You can be like, I really, this point really resonates with me, that what this author's saying, because this is exactly what I struggled with this. I didn't understand what it meant. I hated that I had to look at like side by sides. That's valuable input. But you are also relying on experts here. What are experts saying about this? You are their voice piece. So you need to be really properly sourcing. You are not passing off their ideas as your own. Instead, Mr. Washkowski said this. This famous ex-professor said this. So on and so forth. You need to credit whose opinions are what. So again, you are going to present both sides of the argument here. Both. And then option 5 is, if you like that essay that that we just did on Night or Animal Farm, you can do it again. You just got to pick this book instead. And I've given you 7 different topics. Or you can answer most of those questions, but in a 1-page paragraph for 5 different questions. So you're either doing an essay. Option 5 is you either do an essay or you do a really good response to all of the prompts. And this video here has some extra details below about what's expected. So make sure you watch that if you pick this. And it is a formal essay, just like before, right? So you should be laying it out just like before. Here's the topics, right? So 1 is Hamlet claims to be fake and madness. Do you think is he actually crazy, or is it all an act? Option 2 is, does he love his girlfriend, or is he just using her? Option 3 is, how does the play talk about suicide? Is Hamlet suicidal? Why does Hamlet believe that, even though pretty much everyone is able to kill themselves, very few people do? Why? The world sucks sometimes. Why don't they do it? So it's looking at those deeper questions. Option 1 is revenge ever justified? Hamlet's gonna get dealt a shit deal here. Is he okay to do revenge? Is that fair? Option five, we have a character named Polonius. You can almost think of him as his uncle. Hey, Scar in the Lion King. Is Polonius like a really loving guy, or is he just like a power hungry crazy maniac? Why do you think this? Um, is there like is life futile? It's like what's the point of even bothering in life? But it's also comparing like this great ambition of people. It's looking at both of those. Do you think that Shakespeare's opinion is that life is pointless, or that human ambition, that drive is noble? And then option seven, greed and consequences are common themes of progression throughout Shakespearean plays. Which characters become consumed by greed? So those are your seven topics. So you either write an essay about one of those topics, or you give me a really good response, almost like an essay outline on five of those seven topics. Okay. So as a summary, you're doing Act one, two, three, four, five. Boom, 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 boom. Each of those have a little minor assignment with them. That's all in your workbook. And then finally, you finish off with a final writing project here, where you're either looking at movies or videos, you're researching whether why we should study Shakespeare, or you're doing a traditional essay or some really good writing responses to essay topics. And that's everything. Now, after this, this is all you're gonna have to do for the Christmas break. If you want to get ahead, there'll be something more put in next week as well. But this is really our last major thing. There'll be a little bit of stuff in like December, January that you're welcome to do. But otherwise, after this, like this is the last big thing. So if you get through this, awesome. All right. It's a lot. Please reach out to me if you're struggling with this. You're gonna struggle with this. It's not going to be easy. You'll get through it though.